Welcome to my October garden tour. You get to see all the gardens by day, and then it just so happens that I'm planning a garden party at night this weekend, and then in the next video you'll get to see it all dressed up with beautiful lights and ambiance in the evening. Let's go check it out. Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. My garden is located in growing zone 8B and we are in southeastern North Carolina. Our temperatures have just begun to drop. So last night, for example, 47 degrees. I think that's the coldest temperature we've seen so far. I wanted to show you my banana trees are still here looking good. They're gonna stay okay until we're below 50 degrees consistently. Since our days go back up though, they're gonna last a little while yet. But banana trees on this side, arborvitaes on this side, everything's looking good that way. Dragon's Breath celosia, this is it. This is the time of year when my self-seeding celosia will flower. So I have to wait the whole year for it, but it gives me a very nice fall. We keep talking about the ham and eggs lantana, but that's because it's been an amazing performer. It started out as a tiny little thing in the springtime. This is what it turns into by fall. And let's not forget my Mexican bush sage. The purple in the back there is absolutely outstanding. I wish some of it wasn't flopping over a little into the lantana because you would see even more of the tall plumes, but it is just absolutely gorgeous. I might divide some of that up to move it around a little bit just so it's not quite as hidden as it is there. The rock garden, for the most part, we're doing okay. This was the cordyline that I had overwintered in the ground last year. And when it started out in the beginning of spring, I thought, it's not all that colorful. But you can see as time went on, it did get a lot of that hot pink color, which I like. So obviously I'm gonna keep it here, and hopefully, since it's overwintered once, it'll be successful again, especially since this past winter, let's not forget, was the really, really cold and snowy one. The caladiums, the most awesome, artful, dappled, painty looked caladiums are fabulous. This plume is absolutely outstanding. I don't know the name of it, unfortunately, but it looks great. So I'm thrilled about that. And my dianthus, which are cooler weather bloomers, are back. They were here in the spring. They're back again now. Besides that, some like outstanding things to point out are the sunshine ligustrum, the shrub in the back. This is about its maximum height, so I'm gonna keep it trimmed to about this level. It's supposed to be about 6 feet tall. And I really don't want it to get any larger than that. I have string lights behind it. I want you to be able to see those lights in the evening. I do have more caladiums here. I think this is the Blushing Bride. This is a proven winner style caladium. Ooh, come and look at this baby lizard right here. He's so tiny. And I don't even know what kind of leaf he's on. It almost looks like my basil like seeded in there and grew a little bit. Oh, I love the babies. So the caladium with the lemon coral sedum, you see I have lemon coral sedum coming out of my ladyhead planter too. It's everywhere because I can grow it easily, and it kind of makes a cool little feature when you're pairing it with, well, anything. So I have some cascading rock sedum here. This coleus has done very well. I just took a snippet of it from a different pot. It's on the other side of the yard, and just added it into the ladyhead planter. These dahlias are my favorite dahlias. Now, I'm not a huge dahlia grower. I don't find them to be outstandingly easy. But this one here, which was just simply labeled as pink dahlia from the nursery I got it from, has been with me for about 4 years, keeps coming back beautifully, blooms in the spring and in the fall. The dahlias do get super tall and bloom heavy. That's one of the reasons I don't love them, because I have to be very careful with staking, and I'm not an expert at it. More of the lemon coral sedum. I have some asparagus fern. This is just in a pot with some pink begonias. The pink begonias, the red begonias. Begonias have been doing great this year. Everywhere I've put them, they've taken in sun, they've taken in shade. They've just lasted the whole year through. So they'll be here for my garden party and these cooler nights as well. The blanket flowers are a mixed bag. Some of them obviously very green, plentiful blooms. and then some of them looking very much like sticks and absolutely past their prime. So it's just probably a matter of how much did I deadhead? How much did I keep on top of the clipping? That sort of thing. In the back here, I don't know if you can see the white that I have, but I actually have some Montauk daisies back here. They are a little leggy. I've clipped them back. I clipped back the entire bush last year, and I still have a lot of legginess with just the blooms right toward the end. Of course, that's kind of all you can see here, so it's okay for this space, but these Montauk daisies are not really my favorite because of how big they get like that. Besides that, the sedums and the dianthus are doing the trick over here. Not really too much else to say, so let's hit the poolside gardens. So more or less things have stayed the same here, which is great, which means I'm not losing anything at this stage. I'm rearranging my chairs and things like that, of course, for the garden party. But over here, you know, the golden sword yucca is the same. I moved my fishy planter over here. He just has some purple heart and some mums that had overwintered for me last year. So changed it up a little bit seasonally, but not too much. The bougainvillea over here, that's purple. Sometimes it's full of purple. Sometimes it's only topped with purple like it is right now. No biggie. This is what the bougainvillea does for me. Goes in and out of bloom throughout the entire year. I'm going to show you this, but I think we're facing the sun right now, so we'll wait till we jump onto the blue boardwalk to look at that hibiscus. I want to show you something about it. Over here in my waterfall. This waterfall was planted up with the diplodenia, or mandevilla, I think in this case, cousins of each other, in the springtime. And they were just tiny little plants that blossomed into this. This area up here, I just need to keep it watered and fertilized occasionally, but I don't have to do anything special to keep it blooming like this. I'm super pleased with the turnout of that. This right here, this pink blooming hibiscus, is tropical style. That is one that I've overwintered in the ground and kind of turned into a perennial, but it also does not bloom until late in the season. So sometimes overwintering tropical style things, you don't get to enjoy them for the summer. So it's a little iffy like that. Some still pretty things, some autumn joy sedum down here, oyster plant down here. I have the Pineapple Express mangave there and there with its speckled look. I mean, things are looking all right over there. Purple diplodenia. This was one of my favorite things of the year. The new color that came out for this year, 2025. And then next year I think peach or orange or something like that is going to be a new color. So you know I'm gonna get that. Let's pop over into the shade garden and then we're gonna walk down the blue boardwalk. You can probably tell how full this area has gotten over the course of just a few months that I've had it in existence. Now I've actually moved a bunch of plants out just so they could be sitting on tabletops and stuff for the garden party, but so much of the coleus has performed beautifully, and this is all propagations. Everything, the sweet potato vine, the coleus that's here, heck, even this lemon coral sedum, all of these things are just propagations. Just keep snipping and repotting and snipping and repotting, and you end up with beautiful fullness that you can see everywhere. So earlier in the year I had a very big bug problem, and this time of year bugs can still stick around, but we're doing much better. We're feeling relieved, we're feeling good. I'm not going to name every single plant that's in here, just kind of get a feel for how the shade garden has done and how beautifully it has turned out even into this time in October. So let's pop down the blue boardwalk, and I know the sun is right on us over here. We have some more caladiums off to the side. These are ones that were overwintered in the ground last year, and I'm going to attempt to do the same thing again because I really love having caladiums in my life. Now my elephant ears, to start off the pathway, did terribly this year. None of them got big. Last year I had them over here, you know, 2-3 feet long, wide, extending over the boardwalk. It was not that way this year. The weather was just so wild for them. So I have some yuccas over on this side. Cool, no biggie. We've seen all of that before. But here's a couple things I want to show you now. This is a new elephant ear that I just picked up during my clearance sale. And this is the Waikiki Royal Hawaiian. So this elephant ear is a different color and style that I've ever had before. And now that our temperatures are starting to dip, I have to decide how I'm going to make this work. Either I'm going to be overwintering this indoors, or I get it in the ground, keep it protected, whatever. But it's going to be fine in my area perennially. I just want to make sure I don't plant it too late, since I think it'll be a little bit more sensitive. And then the other thing is I picked up 2 of these red banana trees. I obviously have plenty of green, but these with the red stalk are going to give us a little bit of a different color. So since I have 2 of these, I was even thinking I might be planting these with those Waikiki elephant ears. I thought that would be pretty cool. Anything tropical that I can add, especially anything new, oh, I love that. These caladiums have also been here with me for this whole year. They've done decent. They're not like huge and whatever. This is Tiki Torch Caladium, and this other one had another very cute name too, Sangria Caladium, and these were both Monrovia. So you never quite know what's going to make it and what's not when you're doing a tropical style in the boardwalk. We know how the canna lilies have suffered this year, so I don't need to talk about that anymore. And then I do have my palm, Majesty Palm, and I have these other elephant ears. These are called Black Beauty. So there's a lot of green with some black intermixed onto the different petals there. So that's been pretty cool. No complaints about it. Now, as we travel back to the red hibiscus, this is like a braided hibiscus tree. I think these blooms are called double blooms because they're not exactly, you know, a traditional hibiscus style. This plant is flowering more now toward the end of October than it did, I think, the whole growing season. So it's kind of funny that it's a tropical style plant and somehow it's like loving its life right now. So I just really needed to show you all the red blooms that are happening on that right now. Going on to the opposite side of the yard from the rock garden. So at least we have a little bit of dappled sunlight over here, not quite such harsh lighting. Not a whole lot of outstanding things to show. My dianthus is in bloom again, as I said, because it's a cooler weather bloomer. And I have some coleus that's kind of okay. I wanted to see how the coleus would do in the ground and not just in the pots. And for me, maybe I started them too late in the ground. I don't know. They didn't get as big as I would have liked to see. Usually when you put things in the ground and the roots have room to expand, you see a lot of growth. They're okay. But next year, I think I'll just start them earlier and see what happens that way. For the overwintering of coleus, because a lot of you have asked, I personally will take snippets and root some stuff and plant some stuff that I can keep indoors for the winter so I don't have to start all over again with my coleus collection. But no, I will not be moving every single pot that I have inside for the winter. Now over here, my garden bench, which looks kind of funny with the Christmas lights, which they are, on the bench in the daytime. But at night, it just adds a little bit more color and a little bit more brightness to the backyard because my garden party is going to be in the evening. And once that sun goes down, boy, oh boy, is it black out here, and it's 7:30 p.m. I have another hibiscus that is also blooming right now. And it kind of suffered this whole summer too. So it was almost like it was too treacherous, too hot and humid, that the hibiscus just like closed itself up, even though you feel like that weather style is what the hibiscus would prefer. So this is the coleus that I took snippets of that I put in my lady head planter on the other side. So it's just a beautiful bright pink, and I love that. This was my favorite plant arrangement for the year, and it still looks amazing. The diplodenia that's in here, the caladium that's in here, and the, I already lost the name of it right now. Doesn't matter because I set it on the other side of the yard. All have done, asparagus fern, that's what it is, have done great. That pot has just been great for the whole year. Now you just recently saw me extend my flower bed out over here, redefine my edge, was able to pull my easel out a little bit more so it could be more of a feature. I think I need to get some solar lights here that I can like shine spotlighting up, you know, to kind of highlight the easel. I think that would be pretty cool, and I think uplighting is pretty cool too. So redefining my edges just makes me feel altogether better about my gardening in general. It makes me feel like it's cleaned up, I got the weeds taken care of, and just looks super neat. Outside of that, I have my few other planters that are still hanging out that don't need the irrigation. Everything's been doing fine. I have some snapdragons here that will bloom, of course, beautifully for the cool weather. The dianthus, same thing. This is just a boxwood in the middle, so it's also going to be fine. The diplodenia, however, I am going to have to take this indoors. This one's looking a little raggedy. So for anybody that feels bad about how their dianthus is looking compared to mine, because I have had some people say, what's wrong with mine? You can see that this one's only okay. All things considered, I'm feeling pretty good about how the garden is looking right now. I mean, it arguably looks better than it did in the summertime when it was still supposed to be prime growing season, because that humidity and the bug damage and everything was just really awful to get through. Hopefully you guys are feeling a little bit more refreshed too. I know some other people have had a lot more cool nights than I have had, but I hope that you're enjoying it and just still walking around your garden and feeling proud of whatever you have accomplished this year in this growing season. Follow me on social media for pictures and clips of my garden party coming up. I look forward to showing you everything, and until next time, you guys, happy planting.